I had thought about leaving Minnesota and coaching a different team, but I won't do that. We have some players that are ready to negotiate deals. Blair Walsh, Connor Albright, Julius Samuel, Britton Colquitt, Rashad Bethel, Michael Pyle, Jaquez Smith, E. Ford, Anderson Dejo, Carl Davis, Joara, Draper, Josh Grammatica, and Philip Spicer. Albright is one of the guys that was really huge on our offensive line. Sadly, we've got 7.2 million in cap room, so that's going to be a tough sell. I'll see what we can do here. I don't want to end up with the Adrian Peterson, Teddy Bridgewater situation where I have to get rid of some people. See if we can get him with a lower signing bonus. I'm comfortable at 50.2 mil for 5 years. He's not going to re-sign. Oof, that's going to be tough on us. I should have attempted to negotiate with him earlier in the season. Jaquez Smith will test free agency. As will D. Ford. See if we can get Philip Spicer to resign just because familiarity with his offensive quarterback. He's going to stick around. Just because of we're short on cap room, I am tempted to let everyone here walk and fill everything via the draft and see what happens. In fact, I think I'm going to do just that. I'm going to withdraw all the offers here to every player. And we're going to attempt to build this team with some draft picks here. I think we'll be okay by doing that too. All right, we have the ability to sign some free agents. Let me go back. I didn't see what our cap room was. Oof. 5.15 million. We're really not going to sign anybody with that. So I would just assume that we're just going to skip the draft. But let's look at some of the available free agents that there are and kind of gauge where maybe some of them may go. See who some of the big names are. Philip Rivers at quarterback, Matt Ryan, Ryan Tannehill, Jimmy Garoppolo, AJ McCarron, Sam Bradford. Not really any huge, gigantic names here. Running back, Theo Riddick is the top free agent. Wide receiver has Doug Baldwin. A lot of 30-plus-year-old receivers here. Braxton Miller, Darius Green at tight end is the top option. Randy Gregory at right end. Melvin Ingram at linebacker. I think Trent Williams is the number 1 overall player at left tackle, followed by Blair Walsh. I'm not too particularly worried about what's available there in free agency. We do have some college players here that we could scout. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I scouted all like line positions, defensive backfield, linebackers, things like that. I think honestly, as far as running back, quarterback, wide receiver, and tight end, I think we are more than set at those positions. So I don't see the need to spend any draft picks on them. We have a second-year quarterback now. We drafted one of the top quarterbacks available, and Jared Goff is really a great signing for us. Plus, we re-signed Philip Spicer as well, so we're set at that position. It looks like our worst position right now is center, which we're giving a C. We only have one currently active. We have all 7 draft picks as well. Before we go into the draft, we'll look at some of the league news to see what coaches have signed to which teams. Looks like the Jets have hired Nicholas Gove. Chiefs have signed Bill O'Brien. The Redskins are going to sign Matt Hedrick. Those are 3 of the coaches that have signed so far. I thought there was like 9 positions at head coach. Perhaps I am mistaken on that. Let's see if there's any other ones here. And perhaps some of the coaches haven't signed quite yet either, which is kind of what it looks like. Let's take a look at our depth chart really quick, just to see any positions of need that we can fill in the draft. Like I said, we're set at quarterback, set at running back, we're set at wide receiver, tight end looks good, left tackle looks good, left guard we could probably use an upgrade, center we can definitely use an upgrade, right guard, I'd like to be better, but I think we're okay there. We're okay at right tackle. Left end we look okay. Right end we're fine. We have rookie, the second-year star Snell, Linval Joseph. We could use some depth at the defensive tackle position for sure. Left outside linebacker we're looking okay. Middle linebacker we're looking all right as well. Right outside linebacker is okay. Defensive back we seem to be fairly stacked. Free safety we're okay with Harrison Smith. Strong safety to Bradley Malloy. We will need a kicker and a punter, but I'm not too particularly worried about those positions. So really, we have kind of a wide open direction that we can go into the draft. So it will be interesting to see what is going to be available as far as draft picks are concerned. We've scouted a ton of people this year, more than usual, more than I'm used to at least. We'll scout some more here as well. perhaps at some point in time we may consider trading one of our quarterbacks. I think Goff has potential to be our long-term franchise quarterback, but we did draft a quarterback as well last year, so we don't want to necessarily have to hold on to great players at positions that can net us draft picks either. But we'll see what happens. We'll just go ahead and sim to the draft. I think we said Kansas City was actually going to have the number 1 pick, I think.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
And yeah, it is the Chiefs that have the number 1 pick.
The Bengals.
And they went quarterback.
All right, now that the pick's in, let's go to Adam. Adam, what can you tell us about this guy?
This is a guy whose name has been mentioned as the top quarterback in the draft ever since.
And let's see
head-to-head performance
who is available here for us.
Into the season with a lot of hype surrounding him. I was told by several organizations that the confidence shown in that game, along with his raw physical ability, had him shooting.
We do have a need
Time will only tell if he develops into a franchise quarterback
at the center position. I don't think that there's any top centers available in the first round.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him start.
No, they're all later round picks. So I think being our right guard positions at a C, and we have the potential for first round talent here with Tavi Uzi Sword. That's how you say it. We're going to go ahead and draft him.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
It's a good pick. He's ranked 41 in true talent, and we drafted him at 32. So no real reach there, so that's good. We'll skip ahead in the draft here.
Now that the Texans have made their pick, let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more.
When the college season began, he was one of the surefire impact performers coming into this year's NFL draft. As the season progressed, so did the wear and tear in his body, causing him to miss several games with minor injuries. His struggle to stay healthy caused him to drop on several drafts.
There's still some potential here with some sleeper picks.
A bit of a chip on his shoulder that was clearly evident in several of his pre-draft interviews, according to my sources. While the lack of durability caused worry among several of the GMs I spoke to, there were others who felt that with the
set at left outside linebacker, so I'm not too particularly worried there. Set at safety positions. I think we're set at defensive back as well. We could use a left defensive end.
If he can stay healthy, he's the kind of player who could develop into an all-pro. But if the injury bug continues to strike, he could be out of the league in a matter of years.
Still don't think there's anyone available at center that's going to help us. No, not particularly. I think we're going to go with left defensive end here. Blake Graff.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
And I've reached. He's ranked 110 in true talent. I drafted him at 64. That's not the worst reach in the world, but probably drafted him around
all right, let's go to Adam Schefter, who's
earlier than what we should have.
If anyone should get a trophy for how to train in preparation for the draft, it has to be this kid.
Still a lot of receivers left on the board. Defensive tackle, right defensive end. Seemed to be okay at left guard. We're at a C. Left tackle. Think because left guard. Well, let's see what center is at. Even though we are only in the third round, I am going to reach at one of these centers because we do need one. So we'll go with Gary Kelsey. And I've reached. Of course I have. I don't like how they rank the talent here in the draft. Madden. It's just odd.
All right, team is now off.
Maybe I just don't know what I'm doing too. One of the two.
A torn Achilles tendon almost dashed his NFL dreams, but through pure determination and will, he found a way to rehab and impress scouts at the combine. He was able to make strong cuts and doesn't look as if he's lost any speed as a result of the
See if we
injury.
can find.
With the success he's currently enjoying, there's significant concern about him doing too much too fast. Count on
Here's
this
some
training staff
linebacker depth.
continuing his rehab to make sure he's at 100% before he sees the
Defensive
field.
tackle as
He's
well.
a significant investment, and I can't see them rushing him back until he's.
And we're just going to reach on Irvin McFarland here and see.
Now on the clock.
Oh, and he's considered a good pick, so we'll take it.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
What I should do is I should go back to all my season recap videos and see who I still have left on my team from my drafts. See if I've just been that poor of a drafter. Well, we do a bit of a need at middle linebacker, so we'll go Braxton Donald
The
here.
Chiefs are now on the clock.
And yet rated another good pick. He's ranked 326 in good talent, and I drafted him at 160. That really makes sense, Madden.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
I suppose at some point in time we'll need a kicker. It is quite early for one. Need a punter as well. We can probably still sign someone for cheap on the free agent list. There is a lot of good wide receivers available. And I hate leaving them sit here like this because I love to draft wide receivers. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. We'll pick up Ladarius Lyons here.
The Chiefs are now on the clock.
Apparently that's a good pick as well, so I don't know what's up with the rankings here.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
Pick up one of these right outside linebackers here that's left available at the end of the draft. Just based off of need, we can use one. We also rate that as a good pick. So, we'll take a look at the draft recap and see who we picked up. Right guard, left end, center, defensive tackle, middle linebacker, receiver, and right outside linebacker. We'll take a look at the Chiefs, who had the one pick. They picked a quarterback round one. It's interesting to see some of these teams pick in the first round. Packers picking a running back. So far, only one quarterback drafted. Bengals pick a quarterback, as do the Bills. So 3 quarterbacks going round one. Interesting. Go ahead and advance to the preseason. Go ahead and advance to the next week here, see if we have to do any cuts. I don't think we're going to have to, but Hunter There's his quad week 1 of the preseason. Another new injury. Giovanni Sally tears his rotator cuff. Well, folks, we are officially fucked. Giovanni Sally was really the backbone of our team. That is going to hurt. Not what I expected. Perhaps I won't even have to worry about putting it to all pro. It's going to suck the way it is. Take a look at our depth chart here. See what we're going to have. We've got second year man Isaac Duncan out of Oklahoma State. And Benji Leroy. Yeah, that ain't going to cut it. God, that's a massive blow to the season. Well, we're going to need depth, so Evan Coleman, welcome to the Vikings. Ouch. Painful. There's 7 players that we need to cut. I think even though we re-signed Philip Spicer, we're going to cut him anyway. Really can't cut anybody at running back right now. We have 8 receivers. I don't think we have a need for 8 receivers. Cut Alan Kinney, Antoine Brisby, Ladarius Lyons. So we'll go with 6 wide receivers into the regular season. We still have 4 players that we need to cut. We'll cut Jermaine Fenelus at right guard. Cut Parrish Foreman. I'll keep who we have right now, middle linebacker. Miles Spielman can go. Plenty of defensive backs. Lamar Kenny can go, and I think that takes us over our limit. Yes, we have cut everybody that we need to. One player returning from injury. I'm not sure who that is. Perhaps it's Sterling Shepard. Go ahead and advance here one more week into the regular season, and God willing, no one else gets hurt. It does not look like it. We have to set our season goal. We're to go with 9 wins. I think that's pretty doable. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end there. I'm going to get my depth chart set up, and we'll go ahead and get this season started, and I'll see you in the next video.